Components of the universe vocabulary. I can describe components of the universe, including stars, nebula, and galaxies. Starter. A student uses a flashlight to model the sun and foam spheres to represent the moon. The student should shine the flashlight on the model of the Earth from position 1. So if we used a flashlight to model the sun, we would have to point the flashlight on position 1 to represent a new moon. And then if we were to name the 8 phases, we'd go counterclockwise in revolution around the Earth. So new moon, waxing crescent, first quarter, waxing gibbous, full moon, waning gibbous, third quarter, waning crescent, new moon. Let's practice vocabulary. Stars. A star is a sphere of matter with a density and temperature great enough to cause a nuclear reaction, which results in emitting light. Stars are less massive than a galaxy, but more massive than a planet. Stars are classified by temperature and brightness on a HR diagram. HR diagram classifies stars' temperature and brightness. Groups of stars are supergiants, giants, main sequence stars, and white dwarfs. On a HR diagram, stars belong to spectral classes. Spectral class O, B, A, F, G, K, M based on their surface temperature. So this vertically up and down would be spectral class M. Up and down vertically, spectral class K. Let's practice vocabulary. Nebula. A nebula is a cloud of dust and gas that does not emit light. Hydrogen is the most abundant gas and is the fuel source to form stars. Star formation begins here. Nebula, star nursery, can develop into 2 types of stars. Let's click and watch this video. What is a nebulae?
Space. It's vast and full of secrets waiting to be discovered. Of all the incredible objects scientists have found out among the stars, some of the most spectacular are nebulae. Although most nebulae are completely invisible to the naked eye, modern telescopes are able to give us close-up views of some of the most beautiful objects in the galaxy. A nebula, named for the Greek word for cloud, is in fact an interstellar cloud of dust and gas. Like the clouds in the sky, nebulae come in interesting shapes, like flowers. Insects. Animals. Or people. This is how many of them get their names. There are 4 main types of nebulae. First, there are star-forming regions, also known as stellar nurseries. In these huge areas of hydrogen gas, gravity pulls the materials together into large clumps, which in turn attract more material. More and more gas squeezes together harder and harder, making it grow hotter and hotter. When it becomes hot enough, it will be a new star. Whatever is left over may become planets circling them. An example of a star-forming region, and one of the most famous nebulae in the sky, is the Orion Nebula. The Orion Nebula is the most active area of star formation in our galaxy. Although it is visible to the unaided eye, it is only a vague glow. Through a telescope, the extent of its wonder becomes visible. The Orion Nebula is 15 light-years across and is made mostly of hydrogen. When you look at this nebula, you are looking at stars being born.
Okay, and you can finish watching that video on Nebula on your copy of your Google Slides. Galaxies. A galaxy is a cluster of stars, gas, and dust that's held together by gravity. There are three main types of galaxies based on their shape: elliptical galaxy, irregular galaxy, and your spiral galaxy. Types of galaxies. Elliptical. Elliptical galaxies look like a football or an egg. These galaxies contain billions of stars but have little gas and dust between the stars. Because of the lack of gas and dust, new stars cannot form in most elliptical galaxies, and so they contain only old stars. Irregular galaxy. Some galaxies do not have definable regular shapes and are known as irregular galaxies. They contain young stars, dust, and gas. Spiral galaxies. Spiral galaxies contain arms wrapped around a central bulge. Contains middle-aged stars. Our Milky Way galaxy is a type of spiral galaxy known as a barred spiral galaxy. Our Sun is a medium-sized star located at the edge of the Milky Way galaxy. Universe. The universe contains galaxies, which are made up of gas, dust, stars, and planets held together by gravity. Vocabulary activity. Complete slides 12 through 4. A star has a less mass than a galaxy and a more mass than a planet. So this would be the size order. So stars would be smaller than a nebula. A nebula is smaller than a galaxy, and a galaxy is smaller than the universe.
It is home to at least 2 trillion different and individual galaxies, which together contain more stars than there are grains of sand on the entire Earth. The distance from Earth to any side of the observable universe is 46.5 billion light years, which means that the entire width is 93 billion light years across. What's perhaps even more interesting, however, is what actually lies beyond the observable universe. Keep in mind that the observable universe is all that we can currently see, and it's entirely possible that the rest of the universe outside of it is vastly larger and more fantastic than we can possibly ever imagine. We simply don't know what else is out there because the light from these incredibly distant places has not yet had enough time in the universe's history to reach us yet back on Earth. And the light from some places may never reach us at all. Because some parts of space very far away from Earth are expanding away from us faster than the speed of light, that means that the light from these places will never, in an infinite amount of time, reach Earth. Meaning that even if humanity is eternal and exists forever, there will still be an unknown number of places in the universe that we will never know about or ever see. So, it is very likely that as unbelievably enormous as it seems, the observable universe is just a tiny slice of what we can currently see of the entire universe. According to the theory of cosmic inflation that was proposed by Dr. Alan Guth, if it is assumed that cosmic inflation began at 10 to the negative 37th of a second after the Big Bang, and with the assumption that the size of the universe before inflation began was equal to its age times the speed of light, then this would seem to suggest that at the present day, the entire universe is 150 sextillion times larger than the observable universe. That number for reference looks like this, with this many zeros. Let this number sink in for just a moment. This would be similar to you thinking that the entire observable universe, everything that you could see, was the size of a light bulb, but then realizing that in reality the entire universe is larger than the former planet of Pluto. Imagine a light bulb in the center of Pluto, but we inside the light bulb were totally unaware that Pluto existed outside of it, and that's a similar situation to this. We are all so unbelievably small, but you shouldn't worry, because all that means is that there is so much left out there for us to discover together.
So for your vocabulary activity, this would be your definition of a star, a luminous globe of gas, hydrogen, and helium, which produces its own heat and light by nuclear fusion. So give some examples of stars. Type your own definition or sentence here using the word and add an image relevant to the definition. Your next term, nebula. Definition. A nebula or nebulae are clouds of dust and gas. It's a site for star formation, remains of dead or dying stars. Type in some examples of a nebula, add some images relevant to the content, and type your own definition or sentence using the word. Galaxy. A galaxy is a system of millions or billions of stars, gas, and dust held together by gravitational attraction. Insert some examples, add a image that's relevant, and type your own definition or sentence using the word galaxy. Universe. The universe contains galaxies which are made up of gas, dust, stars, and planets held together by gravity. Insert some examples, add an image, and type your own definition or sentence using the word. For our connection, we have a star connection question. The universe has many different components. Which list places 4 components of the universe in the most likely order from smallest to largest? So here we know, using the image to the right, we can see that a planet would be smaller than a star is smaller than a galaxy, and a galaxy is not smaller than a nebula, so we would have to look for a different one. So we have planet, star, nebula, galaxy. This looks good. A planet is smaller than a star is smaller than a nebula is smaller than a galaxy, using this image. For our exit, a star test question. The Milky Way galaxy is described as a disk of stars orbiting a central point on the disk. Why can't people on Earth see the entire shape of the Milky Way galaxy? So here's the top view looking down on the Milky Way galaxy, and this would be the side view of the Milky Way galaxy. You can see here it's more of a disk shape. And the reason people can't see Earth, well, people on Earth cannot see the entire shape of the Milky Way galaxy is because we're in the galaxy. So being inside the Milky Way galaxy, we of course can't see the entire Milky Way galaxy. We can't see a top or side view because we're in it.